I am now pleased to introduce our student speaker for this year's commencement, Taylor Nichols. Taylor, yeah. All right, I get to carry on about Taylor for just a minute. Now, Taylor's faculty and colleagues know him as an outgoing, socially conscious young man with strong academics. He is a leader to his peers who have praised his skillful guidance and collaborative teamwork. Taylor has provided valuable service to his classmates and community through activities ranging from helping fellow students with their studies to volunteering in the community, including as a medical team member in last year's San Francisco Marathon. He was the project coordinator for the Global Health Medicos Nicaragua, and he served as a key panel member in the new college and career advisor structure, helping to select new career advisors. He is also a recipient of the 2012 Dean Scholarship Award. He recently matched, congratulations Taylor, into the emergency medicine residency program at UC San Francisco. Taylor epitomizes the school's values, and I know he will be a caring and compassionate physician and a leader in his community wherever he chooses to practice. Taylor has demonstrated to those of us who know him that medicine is, quote, more than just about having a passion for health, treating patients, and curing diseases. Medicine is at least as much about the human element, about empathy and compassion, about caring for the whole patient and not just the illness. What great words. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Nichols.
Thank you, Dr. Pomeroy. That was very, very nice of you. Deans, faculty, family, friends, distinguished guests, thank you all for being here today. And to those of you who put up with us through these tough years, thank you for being there and supporting us, teaching us, or mentoring us along the way. Undoubtedly, we couldn't have been here without you. Completing medical school and what has, at least for many of us, been a long and challenging endeavor. For some of us, this may finally be a moment we have dreamed about for years. For others, today may represent the fulfillment of a decision to go to medical school that didn't come until after pursuing another career. And yet for others, this may just be another event to sit through, like listening to Dr. Holcroft lecture about the hematocrit of the Arctic diving seal when all you really want is for rounds to just be over. Now, when we arrived at medical school, we were told that this process would take endurance, that these years would be an exercise in delayed gratification. During our first 2 years, we thought we had it bad when we had to sit through or fall asleep during countless hours of lecture. Actually, the lectures were just recorded and you could download them and play them back at double speed, but don't tell anyone I said not to go to class. And we took far too many exams. Every 2 weeks? Really? Who thought that was a good idea? But the term endurance took on new meaning as we entered third year and endured internal medicine rounds that lasted for hours, occasionally lasting so long that you might be unfortunate enough to hear your attending say the phrase, "Meet back here after lunch so we can finish rounding." On surgery, rounds were quicker, with the added benefit of waking up hours before the sun even came close to reaching the horizon. We read numerous journal articles to present to our attendings so we would at least look like we knew what we were talking about. Well, to be honest, we only read the abstracts. We worried ourselves sick, and then we worried some more about our patients, about our classmates, about ourselves. We provided a shoulder to cry on, or we did the crying. We made mistakes, and hopefully we learned from them. And we learned a lot about medicine, about life, and about death. But through it all, we had your support, and we had each other. You see, that is what's so wonderful about this class. We have such a diversity of experiences and different personalities, yet the close bonds we have forged have made enduring medical school as enjoyable and rewarding as it has been. We have a class full of extraordinary individuals, with stories of overcoming great challenges to reach this point. Stories that show the power of human resilience. Stories that show the heights to which we can all achieve with that singular inner motivation despite the odds. So while the UC Davis School of Medicine has been a special place for a number of reasons, the greatest is for fostering a positive environment in which the faces of these stories could meet and form a community stronger than the individuals themselves. Beyond the sense of community within the school, UC Davis fostered the development of a similar level of appreciation for our greater Sacramento community as well. We started our journey through medical school not just with anatomy lab and physiology lectures, but in the student-run clinics, in which we were able to gain our footing working with patients by providing free medical care to the underserved, disenfranchised, or minority populations of Sacramento. We learned to maintain this social consciousness by observing the value that our institution placed on these clinics, observing this on a personal level by watching our already busy physicians volunteer their time on the weekends to come to the clinics to lead us and to teach us. And we came to see the necessity of providing this kind of care as we continued to treat this uninsured and neglected patient population in our hospital throughout our clinical years. My fellow graduates, as we move forward, we are entering a world that needs us. It needs the sense of community that we have created while we were here at UC Davis. It needs us to be a part of the conversation. It needs us to be there for our patients when no one else will be, both as clinicians and as advocates. We are arriving into a healthcare environment full of uncertainty. With the passage of the Affordable Care Act, the medical system is changing and progressing more rapidly than at any time in history. Do not allow this uncertainty or these changes to cloud your judgment, to compromise the values and beliefs that you came to medical school with, or the skills that you have learned since. Technology continues to develop faster than we can keep up with, and computer screens dominate not just our personal lives, but our hospitals and our clinics as well. Do not forget the value of your personal interactions with your patients, of touch and the art of the physical exam, of listening with an empathetic ear and a diagnostician's wit. Think about how far we have come and how much we have learned during our time here. Reflect back on your thoughts before you entered UC Davis. Consider how little we all knew about medicine and just what exactly we were getting ourselves into. Remember how you felt listening to Dr. Fitzgerald speak at induction, affirming that the purpose of a medical education is to be of service to others. Picture in your mind the well-intentioned thoughts you had when you applied to medical school, the grandiose visions of changing the world. Time is a crazy thing. Instead of changing the world, it changes us. It fills us with knowledge, insight, maturity, and hopefully allows us to develop a strong sense of character. And maybe, just maybe, the character we develop will shape that knowledge and insight into wisdom. I believe that UC Davis and the values we have learned here have helped us build the sense of character required to become not just exceptional physicians, but exceptional leaders. Someone older and wiser than me once told me to always use my powers for good. My fellow classmates, we will graduate today as doctors, and with those letters of MD, we earn both power and responsibility. Our patients will be looking to us for answers, for insight, for hope, and for inspiration. Let us not forget where we have come from, nor all we have learned, the inspiring stories of our classmates, nor the harrowing stories of our patients along the way. Let us remember our moral and ethical responsibility to provide just care to all of our patients in an otherwise unjust world. Let us go forward and use our powers for good. We will be providing the example that others will follow. If we do not, I don't imagine others will. But I can't think of a greater group of people to take on this challenge than the people I'm graduating with today. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2013.